I don't want to be interacting with, a computer generated Jack Nicholson. I think that would be, yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Ms. Paulson, Ms. Davis, seriously, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Ms. Paulson, I'm going to start with you. I read a really interesting interview with Louise Fletcher where she said that she never really understood why Nurse Ratched was on so many of the top movie villain lists, because from her perspective, Nurse Ratched was doing exactly what she felt that she needed to be doing for her patients. So I'm wondering, for you approaching this role, do you approach it like a villain, or is that a little bit too like mustache twirling?
I would love to play a part where I got to twirl my mustache. I have to tell you, I wish someone would ask me to do that. I would relish it. I can't.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'd be like, it would just not be pleasant for anyone, but I would have a good time. No, I never thought of her as a villain, and I agree completely with what Louise Fletcher said. I think, she was a woman at a time when questioning the authority of sort of patriarchal world that might have been happening in that hospital would have been something. I think it would take a rare person who would do that. So I never saw her as a villain. I really didn't. She's a person in pursuit of absolution. I really believe that, and there's purity in it, in the pursuit. What she does along the way to achieve it is questionable, to say the least.
That's what makes the character in that particular film so layered. Ms. Davis, I read another article, I read a lot as you can tell, with Ryan Murphy, where he said that he has a 4-season arc for this show, and that he kind of plans on the 4th season sort of tiptoeing into the timeline of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And obviously the character of R.P. McMurphy, he brought out a lot of different sides of a lot of different characters. But what do you think it would be like if your character could go toe-to-toe with Jack Nicholson's R.P. McMurphy?
I'd like to see that.
Oh, she'd probably get a crush on him. I mean, she's a little vulnerable in that way.
Has Ryan spoke with you guys at all about sort of that plan, and that sort of being the trajectory that we're moving toward?
What he said to me in the very beginning, and I don't know if this holds true, but I like the idea of it, is that there would be 4 seasons, and each one would sort of be inching closer to the epic that, Cuckoo's Nest takes place in. However, I don't think we would ever go in the hospital. I'm much more interested personally in seeing what happens when she's in that outfit and she turns the key to her apartment and comes into her house, and what is that life, I don't want to be interacting with, a computer generated Jack Nicholson. I think that would be, yeah.
It's so interesting you say that, because I recently rewatched the film before I started this show, and there are a couple of shots of her opening the door and coming, and the first thought was like, where did she come from? Like, what is her?
And the reason we're sitting here today, Jake.
Which I'm so excited about, and I love so much. Though I do have sort of a fun hypothetical, and I was wondering if you would have fun with me, Ms. Paulson. I was wondering, obviously, the character of Nurse Ratched that we get in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is so different than the one we're getting in this show. But is there a particular scene in that film that you would have loved to have tried out and loved to have acted in yourself, and maybe gotten those lines and see what you could have done with that particular moment?
There's nothing I could have done that would have bested or improved upon anything that she did in terms of having fun trying. Probably the scene that I think is sort of the climactic moment when everything kind of changes, which is post the men in the ward having a really raucous evening, and Billy Bibbit finally losing his virginity, and she comes in and threatens to tell his mother, and
right.
The
way she pulls it off is unbelievable. Her line delivery in that. And Miss Davis, as we wrap up, they're giving me the wrap, but I did want to ask, one of the things I love about this show is that it gives us a different perspective of a character from film that obviously we think we know, but now we're starting to think that maybe we don't really have as much of an idea as we thought we did. Is there another cinematic character out there that you love, but now you kind of want to pause and go like, where did that person come from? And maybe a different cinematic character we'd like to sort of see a 4-season arc for, to learn a little bit more about them.
Oh, Jesus. God, maybe I'm just not enough of a film buff.
Or is there a character you've played that you'd love to see a little bit of a backstory to?
Backstory. Ooh.
I'm sorry. I know it's a long.
Jake. You're
I'm
putting.
so sorry. I know it's a long junket day. I was trying to ask you things you hadn't been asked 10,000 times before.
Very good. It's kind of you.
I tell you what. Well, whenever we come back for season 2, I'm going to follow up on that question, and then I'm going to demand the answer.
Okay.
But I'll have 5 years to think.
Not 5.
Okay. Seriously, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the series, and hopefully the questions weren't too weird. And
No, they were
seriously,
great.
I appreciate it. Have a great day. I hope you guys take care.
Bye.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.